They called him a prince of the church, but he lived like a servant of Christ. Born into luxury, yet he chose poverty. Born into power, yet he chose obedience. Born into comfort, yet he chose the cross. Charles Borromeo was born in 1538 in a small town near Lake Maggiore, Italy. His family was one of the richest in the land, the Borromeos. From birth, he was destined for influence, but there was something different about him. As a boy, Charles was quiet, disciplined, and deeply spiritual. While other children played, he spent hours in prayer. He had a speech defect, a stammer, but that never stopped him from speaking boldly about God. At just 12 years old, he took a vow of chastity. At 16, he studied law and theology in Pavia, mastering both with brilliance and humility. His uncle, Pope Pius IV, noticed his intelligence and holiness. When Charles was only 22, the Pope made him a cardinal and later the Archbishop of Milan. Most men at that age would have drowned in power, but Charles chose simplicity. He refused fine clothes. He slept little. He ate only enough to stay alive. He gave his money to the poor and spent his nights in prayer. The church in his time was in crisis. Corruption had crept in, and many priests lived carelessly. But Charles, burning with love for Christ, became one of the leaders of the Council of Trent, a great movement that brought renewal and reform to the Catholic Church. He worked tirelessly to bring holiness back to the clergy. He established seminaries to train priests, created schools for the poor, and insisted that every priest should live what they preach. He wasn't loved by all. Some hated his reforms so much that one night a man shot him while he was praying before the altar. The bullet missed his heart by a miracle. Charles simply stood up, finished his prayer, and forgave his attacker. Then came the plague of 1576. Fear filled the streets. Bodies lined the roads. The rich and powerful fled the city. But Charles stayed. He turned his palace into a hospital. He fed 60,000 people every day. He carried the Eucharist through the streets barefoot, begging God to have mercy. He fasted, prayed, and spent all his money helping others. He even went door to door blessing the dying and hearing confessions. When his friends told him he was risking his life, he said calmly, "If we do not love in time of suffering, when will we love?" That love healed hearts, and slowly, the plague ended. Even after the plague, he never stopped working. He visited every corner of his diocese, on foot, through mountains, through storms. He encouraged priests, cared for orphans, and helped the poor start new lives. He lived only 46 years, but in that short time, he transformed the church in Milan and beyond. When he died in 1584, people wept in the streets. Even those who once hated him cried, saying, "We have lost our shepherd." Today, St. Charles Borromeo is remembered as a model bishop, a reformer, and a saint who lived what he preached. He taught that holiness isn't about perfection, but about faithfulness, about staying when everyone else leaves, and about loving when it costs you everything. If St. Charles's courage inspires you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, so more souls can discover the saints who walked the hard road for love of God.